Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Pat Shea, and today I'm going to be talking about Netflix and the entire streaming service business in general. So first, I'm going to go into Netflix, and then I'll explain exactly what's going on with the industry today and streaming services. So, as we all know, Netflix is one of the leading online streaming services in the world. The company has over roughly their services offered to 190 countries worldwide. And Netflix was the first video rental delivery service that provided your one single fee rate per month or per year, for example, and it really set the tone for what the potential in streaming services have. So this chart right here that I have is made by Just Watch. This was in Q3 of 22. The number is a little bit different now, but Netflix does have the highest market share out of all streaming services out there in the market. Over the past few years, the streaming service industry itself has become very well based with competition these days, especially with the release of Disney Plus and HBO Max in 2020. Hulu has a pretty big chunk of the market share, and then Apple TV and Paramount and Plus are falling a little bit behind, and then 9% of others is whatever else is in the industry as well. So looking at Netflix and the streaming service industry, due to high competition and everything that Netflix has already had success with, there is a few more opportunities that they can have to improve their product as in general. The first one I found was focusing more on a regional content based for areas outside of the United States. Netflix has a big United States audience. If they keep staying consistent with their product and what they have, the United States numbers will stay steady and keep increasing over the years. Focusing outside of the United States, especially in smaller countries or even well-developed countries that often don't use Netflix as much, promoting a product towards them and making their interface experience a little bit better could definitely improve Netflix's opportunities in the future. They can compete with price on mobile-only plans. A lot of plans these days have very fixed prices, but they also have flexibility. They have either a really affordable plan that has certain features, like a family plan style, or a access all feature for an individual. Netflix could do a little bit of a better job, especially on the price wise. I think they are the most expensive out of all streaming services, even though they do offer, let's just say, the most out of their product, and they're probably the most well known. They could cut back on prices and even be more with mobile only on like your phones, for examples, and programs like that. And in partnerships. Personally, I think Netflix could really benefit from partnerships. Netflix does look to own most of its content, but a partnership maybe to include an ad, for example, could really help Netflix make some money on the ad side of things. As Netflix stated, as you're paying your one set fee, they don't want any ads in their content, but maybe they have a free subscription service in that ballpark. They do put ads in there. There could be a great opportunity for Netflix to make some money and improve their content as well. So the main threats for Netflix and in the business side of things for streaming services, number one, growing competition. That is the main threat in this industry. Over the past few years, many big TV companies have switched over to the streaming service platform, which is key to their success. And Netflix really has to decide what they want to do to react to this competition. As we could see, HBO, released in 2020, has dramatically skyrocketed to one of the top streaming services. Disney Plus as well, by releasing shows or movies that they own. A lot of the content on these sites is made for everybody. especially Disney. They look to hit every target audience, which is a main threat to Netflix because that was their main goal so far. Regulatory pressures is another one. What content can they post and not post under certain rules and guidelines? Netflix does have some restrictions in regards to what countries they're allowed to post in, what type of product they're allowed to do. That's a main threat. And then their high operating expenses for running their own streaming service. Netflix has the highest operating expenses for out of all of the streaming service companies today, which is a main threat for them because they need to have a little more revenue to keep the business flowing. So now I want to get into the strengths. So looking over at the industry itself, a lot of the streaming services today are relatively brand new, which is a good thing for the industry. The industry keeps growing, adapting. But looking more on a Netflix side of things from a company perspective, they do have the largest user base at 231 billion subscribers, when there's roughly 330 to 350 billion subscribers in the market share itself. And like I said, a lot of these streaming services are brand new. Well, Netflix definitely has over 30 years of experience, where it first came from when you rented your DVD and you returned it in the mail. Now it's their streaming service platform, which is their main reason on how you can get movies and shows. They have strong brand awareness. Netflix, with its reliability, consistency of product, their brand name has grown dramatically and is very dependable on. And a lot of people now choose Netflix as their number one streaming service platform. Global expansion over the past years and years, besides being based only in the United States, they've grown to be worldwide, especially in the UK, where Netflix is huge. They also work to go into many other countries over the years. Financial performance. As a company itself, Netflix has only had one quarter where there was a decrease in subscribers and also revenue for the company. And over the past 3 quarters, that was back in the beginning of 2022. In the past 3 quarters, they have dramatically improved their game, and their financial performance has reflected on it. Technological innovation. You can basically stream from anywhere now. Years ago, you can only use it on your TV. Now with your iPhone, your iPad, your smartphones, your smart devices, you can basically stream anywhere. And Netflix has really found itself to be able to be open on any type of device. And also another thing is their marketing and social media approach for all the new shows coming out. They do a great job promoting what they have. And those are the main strengths for Netflix. So looking at a weakness, I wouldn't say these are weaknesses. I think that it is a weakness, but it also promotes opportunity and growth for the company. As being the only one in the market share, you can really set the bar where you want to go. And I get that has all the opportunities in the business, but having a little competition can definitely improve product in general. So for Netflix, they did have a little bit of a stalled subscriber growth over the past year or two, because of the releases of all these new streaming services, and they're falling market share. Same reason. Many people are looking into the new products. But the stalled subscriber growth was the first time ever back in 2022 in the first quarter. And since then, their subscriber growth has grown up in the past 2 to 3 quarters, besides that one. And they're falling market shares basically just because there's more competition out there, which can improve Netflix's product in general. If new companies are making a competitive advantage on Netflix, why wouldn't Netflix as a company seek new opportunities to improve their product? looking at the future in this industry itself alone, the streaming service industry itself has grown dramatically. Now I feel like everybody uses streaming services as either their form of TV. They're getting rid of cable. That's a main thing that I've seen over the years. And they either have Netflix, HBO, Disney, Peacock, Paramount, Prime. There's a whole big world out there of streaming services, and Netflix was definitely the leader in this industry and made it um, these big company names forced to make a product to compete with them. So looking at the future, despite their subscriber losses in the first part of 2022, they have proven the reliable company that they are. Um, and with competition, they have made changes over the years, and they have exceeded their fourth quarter expectations of last year. Even though their earnings fell short of their predictions, their fourth quarter results of 2022 were really impressive, which definitely helped the stock in the first half of 2023 year, as it's up a little bit under 15% as the year started. And the company surpassed their revenue, their profit margins, and their growth expectations that they really wanted to. That was the main goal for 2022 for them. Since they are a very well-known company, the market share is decreasing as all these new competitions are happening. Their membership growth expectations have slimmed down over the year. That was the main goal of theirs, was to make sure that they beat their expectations, which is what a company really wants to do to succeed. Netflix also announced a major change in their leadership styles, which really helped their growth. Their longtime CEO and founder stepped away, and there will be a new chairman and CEO taking over, which I think personally is a main attraction towards Netflix now, to get some new ideas in there and see where the company can go. Not based just off their financials, but how they can improve in general as a streaming service. I know they like to own all their own content, but with the AdSense out there that they could be making, or more options available in other countries, there is definitely a big future ahead of them. Personally, I think that's one of the greatest things that they could do. Instead of charging crazy amounts per month or per year, they can cut down some costs and make some other ways to make money instead of really hurting the pockets of their customers, which would be greatly appreciated for a lot of them. And I feel like their market value, market share would even increase in that sense, because people will be wanting to go back to Netflix compared to these other brands. And even releasing some more, they do a great job releasing content, also bringing back content that they had to get rid of. That could be another reason why people could want to go back. So I feel like their big CEO and chairman operations side of things, with the change, could definitely help the company in general. I want to say thank you to everybody for listening into my presentation on Netflix and the streaming service industry. I feel like there's a very high opportunities available in all of these companies, but I feel like Netflix has the best chance to have the best bang for their buck opportunity wise. They have the brand awareness, they have the financials, they have the leadership, they have people buying the product every month to watch new shows or new movies or anything on that sense. I feel like they can really make a new service for themselves and really help the customer out on all sides of things. So I want to say thank you. Have a great rest of your day.